Introduce yourself, yeah.
For those who don't know, I go by the name of PrinceRahiem. Birthed in the game by Beatmaster Clay D and MagicMike. Y'all know what it is. True history right here.
All right, tell us, you're from Hollis, right?
Yes, originally from Hollis, Queens.
All right, and that's where you start rapping?
Yes, sir.
You want to talk?
Well, actually,
minor?
Well, what I'll say is that's not where I started rapping, but it's where I started getting my passion and my love for music. Raised in Hollis, Queens, home of Run DMC for those who don't know. Those were the neighborhood heroes, the people that I looked up to. And originally when I started this, I wasn't a rapper, I was a beatbox. That was my forte. I looked up to Dougie Fresh, Biz Markie, Buffy from Fat Boys, Eminem, the Unknown, who is great, and Rozelle, the godfather of noise from The Roots, who actually taught me what I do. With that being stated, you know, it was a thing where I had a close friend. The affiliation of Hollis, Queens was always tight. Double H's, you know what I'm saying? It was always tight. So they felt it was great to come back to the community, running them, and find talent within the community. Me and my boy were Premier. You know what I'm saying? We go to any party, any block party, we mash it up. He get on the mic, I beatbox, it's a rap. Shut the building down. Well, we started to get accolades and running them piqued the interest. Told us to open up a spot for them on Jamaica Park. You know what I'm saying? We went up there, taught us set up. They loved us. Started talking about, you know, bringing us to Russell. I go home with the news, excited to tell my moms, you know, he told his mom, we all excited, everything gravy. Later that evening, you know what I'm saying, it's a thing where we out in the park, you know, he was a hustler. It is what it is. And unfortunately, niggas that didn't want him in the spotlight took his life. As he died in my arms, you know what I'm saying, I looked down upon my brother and I basically told him, you know what I'm saying, I'll carry the torch for him. I'll pick up the mic. Again, rapping was never my forte. But
So what took you down to Florida?
Well, after he got murdered, the people who killed him wanted me dead. The word on the streets was I was next. My mom and them didn't wait, didn't hesitate, wasted no time, got in contact with her uncle, my great uncle Howard, flew me down. And upon getting to Orlando, Florida, things seemed to change. Like, I was a dude from New York who did something that they wasn't used to seeing up close and personal. So it became like, yo, you heard that dude from New York beatboxing? He crazy with it, he's sick with it. Man, before I knew it, my name was all through the school. So now I'm battling dudes in school. And I'm like, man, it's whatever. Whatever you want to do, whatever, lunchroom, bathroom, let's get it popping. Man, long story short, one of the dudes from the school decided he wanted to introduce me to MagicMike, who was a premier DJ, DJing at the skating rinks and a couple of the popular clubs in Orlando at the time. Go around to his crib, we have this formal introduction. Man, it was a wrap from there because we just started murdering stuff. Everything he did, I did. You couldn't see him without me, vice versa. We were always together, inseparable. Ultimately, that led us to doing a talent show. And the night of this talent show, across the room in a different venue, was a bass concert going on. You had Clay D, you had Cool Rock, you had BVSMP, you had so many, MC80E, there were so many bass acts on this ticket. They heard the rumble coming from across the room. We were in a talent show. They heard all of the boom coming from the talent show. So in between their sets, they were coming over to peep the talent. Ironically, Clay, Dickie Hazley, Lattimore, Big Nate, a couple of people happened to come through while I was on stage beatboxing. That night, Clay was like, yo, I don't know who you are, where you from, bruh, you hot. I need to work with you. He gave me a business card and went further. Like told me and Mike after the set, come to my hotel. Me and Mike went to his room. We was there all night. We was there. We probably left like 5 o'clock that morning. Like I said, we left. We was in Clay's crib probably until about we were in Clay's hotel room probably until about 5 that morning. I had to go to school that morning. So of course my uncle wasn't too thrilled and was like, stop holding on to this pipe dream of being a rapper, blah 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 blah. That's just a bunch of noise. And I mean, for me, it was an opportunity. That's how I saw it. I'm like, I don't know how real it is because people said this before, you know what I'm saying? But I was willing to, you know, see what was going to go on. Some time happened, lapsed, didn't hear anything from Clay. I come home from school one day and my uncle's like, yo, that dude from Miami called and he like, why did you miss your flight? I was like, what you talking about? He said he called you the other night and told you he was paying for a ticket for you to come to Miami. Mike's already there. Call him back. Clay on the phone, he was like, yo man, I'm gonna redo this ticket for you. You need to be on the next flight to Miami. From that point on, man, when I hit Miami, straight from the airport, we went to 13385 West Dixie Highway, home of Vision Records. That's where I first met Steve Alamo, Ron Albert, and Howard Albert, who would then become, you know, the owners of my label, the label that I was signed to. It was a beautiful thing, although at the same time, it was fucked up. They shitted on artists, man. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't really understand the business, a lot of artists that came from my genre of music were literally taken advantage of. We were raped. And I'm gonna put that out there. That needs to be heard. I feel like the same people that I loved and trusted basically cut my throat, you know? And that's a hurting feeling. You know, they tell you, you like my son. They tell you, you do such great work. We're so proud. But yet and still, they don't want to pay you for what you're doing. It is what it is. But this was the game.